So overall, interesting numbers. It's a beat across estimates if you talk about it. The EBITDA growth that you've seen this time around in terms of JSW Energy, the uptick has mainly been led by this organic renewable capacity addition that they've done overall. The net generations have increased around 71% on a year-on-year basis. And what they've said is that the installed capacity is expected to grow at almost a 20% compounded growth rate till 2030. In terms of where the PPAs that are signed are concerned, they've done around 350 megawatt FDRE, 100 megawatts in terms of solar and 100 megawatts in terms of BESS as well, which is battery storage. In terms of the con call, what they've said is that the EBITDA beat was mainly driven by Mahanadi thermal plant, and they've signed new PPAs in the first quarter, plus another 450 megawatts that have been signed post the quarter as well. The trial runs for the 3,800 TPA, which is the green hydrogen project, is ongoing. So a strong set of numbers that have been reported as well. And to discuss more in terms of the earnings, joining us on the show right now, we have Mr. Sharad Mahendra, Joint MD and CEO at JSW Energy. Mr. Mahendra, good morning and welcome to the show, and always a pleasure to speak to you at NDTV Profit. This is Hiral on this side. Firstly, congratulations on the strong set of numbers. Clearly have beat estimates. We've seen an uptick in terms of EBITDA that has been led by organic renewable capacity addition. So how has the contribution been from Mahanadi as well as O2 Power? And are you expecting this kind of performance to continue in the coming quarters?
Yes, definitely the Q1 performance has been a significant performance by the company, resulting in almost 93% increase year on year on EBITDA. And as you asked that with how it is sustainable, first we have to understand the key drivers for this growth. The drivers have been last year, as we have informed, that our organic wind capacity addition, which was almost 1/3 of the country's wind capacity addition, what we did last year, majority of that came in the second half of the year when the peak wind season has already passed. That has contributed significantly in Q1 because that entire new capacity is seeing the wind season, which normally starts in April end or May beginning and up to maybe September or part of October. So that has benefited. In addition to that, our existing units, that JSW Utkal plant, the second thermal unit of 350 megawatt, which get commissioned in March, has contributed significantly in this Q1. In addition to that, the two large acquisitions, one in the month of March, the KSK Mahanadi, that has resulted in a significant increase in generation as well as the EBITDA margins. And in the month of April, the O2 acquisition. So we have to understand that, as you've asked, whether this is sustainable. Everything is these things we are going to see the benefit in the full year. And the wind assets which we have commissioned and the Q1 capacity addition, further commissioning which we have done, is going to see the benefit in Q2 and balance 6 months in the second half of the year. Mahanadi, 1800 megawatt, the way we have performed right after taking certain steps which we informed immediately after the acquisition, that we have identified significant areas of efficiency improvements, which we have started implementing immediately in the month of March after acquisition. And majority have been implemented in this quarter, and some are left, which will happen during the year. So these things also have helped us in the performance what we have got, and this is likely to sustain. In Bharat Utkal also, the second unit is going to be available for balance 9 months also. So these O2 power is also going to be available. So all these factors we feel that are going to remain, barring the wind pattern season, which is comparatively lesser in second half of the year. Rest all will continue to remain the same. And hydro, one thing I wanted to highlight, that has performed extremely well again, continuously for the second year. And our greenfield Kutehr steel hydro plant is the first unit of 80 megawatt has got synchronized today, and maybe it will get the COD maybe in 1 day or 2 days, and balance 2 units also of 80 megawatt each are going to be operational, and COD will be there maybe in next 4 to 5 days. So we are certain that this 240 megawatt of hydro greenfield project available during the peak monsoon season is going to contribute also in terms of the EBITDA and margins in quarter two, which this plant was not present in quarter one. So we feel that the performance which has been delivered, we feel that we will be in a position to sustain the levels.
Right, so sustenance is going to be key from here on. Mr. Mahendra, what are the timelines that you're looking at with regards to commissioning of the new projects, particularly solar, the battery storage project in Karnataka, and the FDRE project with regards to SECI, because that is what everyone's eyeing in terms of the additions as well that will aid the numbers?
Yeah, these are part of our 10 gigawatt of PPA projects which are there in hand. The work on ground under construction projects. These have a timelines of 18 months, and we will be executing within the timelines of these 18 months in which we have to execute. We are absolutely confident because this 100 megawatt of solar plus battery energy storage of 100 megawatt hour in Karnataka, which we have signed. The land is provided by the state, the connectivity is provided by the state. So we don't see at all any challenge, and we are confident that within the timeline we will be commissioning this project also.
Okay. The other aspect we need to consider is with regards to the PLFs. So how have they panned out for thermal, hydro and the renewable assets in the first quarter of FY26? And do you have any plans with regards to optimizing them further?
See, our PLF, actual PLF, if we talk of, stood at 76% in quarter one. But we have to remember that the Mahanadi plant, wherein out of 1800 megawatt, close to about 1700 megawatt is tied up under long term. This plant, the availability of the plant is essential to recover the full fixed cost, and the plant availability has been significantly higher at 98%. So we are getting full, even if there is a back down because of the seasonal or demand impact from the buyer side, especially in the state of Uttar Pradesh, there is a back down. So that resulted in lower PLF, but there is no impact to us in terms of our realization and returns because our plant was available. This is as a part of the PPA conditions, it is there. And in terms of wind, of course, the generation has been significantly higher as compared to last year. Our wind generation PLFs are significantly higher. Two reasons. One is, of course, as we all know, that this year the wind speed is comparatively better what it was in last year, quarter one. And this year, as I said a few minutes earlier, that second half, we have added lot of capacity, fresh capacity, with latest technology and best of the machines. Our earlier, last year, our portfolio of Mitra assets, which are old assets, is smaller machines which generate less CUF. The percentage of that portfolio was higher. But now this year, our percentage of the more efficient machines has increased and will continue to increase, which has also resulted in giving us the benefit of higher generation because of the higher CUF, PLF.
So PLFs have been lower, but not impacting business from here on. So if you have to look at the first quarter, Mr. Mahendra, do you think it's pretty much on track with regards to meeting your FY26 guidance? Or do you think you'll be able to outpace that number as well, taking into consideration the kind of growth that you've already seen?
See, as I told that very difficult to give exactly that as on the basis of quarter one. But if we see quarter on quarter performance of our portfolio, last year, if you see, normally quarter two is the best quarter for us because of the hydro portfolio and with new plant also getting commissioned in now in next 4 or 5 days, COD happening. So that is where quarter two. So we maintain that there will be a similar kind of trend in terms of EBITDA and margins will continue. And based on our quarter one performance, it can be seen that how the outlook is going to be in the coming quarters based on the previous trends and also giving the due weightage to the KSK Mahanadi, which is 100% tied up, 90% tied up, and also the Utkal plant. So these are the things. Forward guidance normally we don't give, but yes, as I said earlier, we are quite confident that what we have demonstrated in quarter one in terms of our earnings, we don't see any reason that will not continue to demonstrate in a similar way going forward also in the current year.
Right. And very lastly, Mr. Mahendra, we have the Supreme Court, which has actually ruled in favor of Himachal in the power dispute with JSW Hydro Energy. Any update on that that you would want to give us?
See, the thing is that again, when we made the representation in the High Court, we have to remember that we have acquired this asset in 2015, which when it was a running plant, operational plant, and there was an implementation agreement which was signed by the erstwhile promoter with the state government of giving incremental power from 13th year to the state, which when we saw the CERC, which ultimately that says that principle says that it is to be capped at 12%. When we approached the court, the High Court ruled in our favor that it is to be capped at 12%, and then state went to Supreme Court. So again, the order has come that it is to be 18%. Implementation agreement prevails over the PP and the CRC ruling. So we have started supplying the additional 6% from the day the order came from next day onwards. So that is the only impact. This is a minor impact because whatever the power which we had to give 6%, that will continue like that. We'll
Okay.
have give.
Got it. So I think that additional power is what you're giving, but it's a minimalistic impact that you're seeing. Thank you, Mr. Mahendra, so much for joining us on the show and sharing your views as well. So that's the management of JSW Energy. The stock not really doing much. In fact, it's cooled off from where it opened up right now, seeing cuts of around 0.2%. And this is in spite of a strong set of numbers that have been reported and the guidance also being absolutely strong.
Yeah, maybe.